Oh, lovely stuff. There we are. That is the latest offering from the one and only nation sweetheart Joe McElderry, who's returning to the airwaves to help you beat the January blues with his latest hit, Baby Had Your Fun. Joe joins me now via Zoom, so our YouTube viewers can all see Joe's wonderful smiley face. Joe, happy Easter to you. How are you?
Hello, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Cheers for making the time for us, especially on Easter Sunday. I've just had a glimpse of it. Our lovely listeners have had a glimpse now of your latest single. It sounds really nice, mate. You must have had a bit of fun making this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last year's been a bit mental for everyone in all shapes and forms, and just it's been a time of kind of just trying to make things work. So did a lot of writing sessions on Zoom in the first lockdown last year, working on a new album. And this was one of the songs we came up with. And originally I was going to kind of wait until everything had blown over, re-COVID and everything, to release. And then when January came around and we knew it was kind of go a bit, kind of 10 steps back a bit, I thought, let's give people something to dance around their living rooms to.
Absolutely. You're doing a valuable national service, Joe. I think, we should all stand outside our doors and give you a big clap, I think. But look, this is a really interesting song. It sounds very bouncy. It sounds like what we need, frankly, at this particular moment in time. So it's out. It was out, sorry, on the 22nd of January as well. Look, man, I think it's fantastic. How have you struggled, or otherwise, I suppose, with the lockdown situation? Has it meant that you've been more creative? Have you had time to be more creative, or do you just really miss being out and about?
I mean, I suppose I have had time to be creative in just ways of trying to make things work, in terms of live streaming and doing online concerts and things like that. I was due to go on tour last year. I was due to do a bit of musical theatre as well, a couple of projects. And obviously everything got, like cancelled or postponed or whatever. So we kind of set up a system in my living room, and I turned my living room into a bit of a TV set. And I did online shows. Literally last weekend we would have done 50 from September, and we just did them every weekend. And I originally did like 4, thinking, streaming's different and people might not want to come and watch a show online as to buy a concert ticket. But people loved them, so I just kept doing them. Made a fool of myself, did a bit of cooking. But I think just we've learned that we can connect with people, and yes, it's not the same. But technology is a wonderful thing, and you just got to make it work.
Yeah, you do indeed. And again, I think it is funny, isn't it? We did see a lot of people just reacting to the situation, doing things like you've done there. And also, I think it humanised people, because you are a real life famous, right? And I think, it does humanise people when you can see someone like you, as you said, maybe making a bit of a fool out of yourself, cooking and things like that. I just think it's really nice. It's a nice window into your life, as it were. What's your normal songwriting process like then? I'm always intrigued by this, because I have no musical talent whatsoever. People say that, people who can sing, dance and act, are they a triple threat? In that case, I'm not a threat. No, I cannot do any of those things. So, how does your songwriting process work? Does it just come to you?
I'm not. I don't write music. I only write lyrics. So I normally work with somebody. So I normally work. I mean, I do have ideas in terms of melodies, but I could never sit at a piano. I can't play an instrument. So for this song, for example, we did a lot of Zoom sessions, and Helen, the lady that I wrote the song with, Helen Bolden, she would sit with the piano. We would come up with the lyrics or the melodies, and it's just a kind of back and forwards, throwing ideas at each other. Then sometimes I will write a whole song of lyrics and have no music to it, and then give it to somebody who would then take the lyrics. It completely depends who you're working with. Or sometimes I'll be sat on a train and I start singing into the microphone on the phone, and everybody thinks I've lost the plot a bit. They're like, why is he singing?
Oh, Joe McElderry's back again. He's lost it, hasn't he? Look at him. He's doing that. He's shouting into the void here. Do you get recognised a lot? I mean, that must have been weird for you when you first hit the big time, as it were. People stopping you in the streets and all sorts. I mean, it must have been strange. Or do you love it really?
Do you know what? It's a funny thing, isn't it? Like I don't think it ever becomes normal. But what I have found is quite strange. After being in lockdown for the last year and not going anywhere, I went for a walk the other day, and I was like, why is everybody staring at us? And then I thought, oh God, yeah. Part of the job.
Yeah, I'm famous. I remember now.
Well, normally you'd, like, when you're working or you're busy, it becomes kind of part of the job, and you just kind of accept it. But because I haven't been anywhere for some reason, I really noticed it the other day, and I was like, oh God, yeah, I need to get used to that again when the world reopens.
What are you most looking forward to when the world reopens? Are you a pub goer, or are you going to be going abroad, or I suppose getting back on stage? Really,
I think for me, I can kind of, I've turned my garden into a little outdoor beer garden, and but most importantly, I can't wait to get back on stage and connect with an audience. Like that for me is, like I said, we've been able to do it somewhat with the online shows, but I just can't wait to be in a room with loads of people sharing music and having fun and just seeing people hugging each other, seeing people with arms around each other at a concert and waving their hands in the air, just things that I certainly took for granted. It was something that I just got to do every day. And when it's kind of snatched away from you, it makes you really miss it.
yeah, I can believe that. I think Glastonbury's going virtual, isn't it, again this year? And I suppose it's something. It's better than it not happening at all, I suppose, really, isn't it? But I think it's going to be just epic when we are back at it, which hopefully isn't too long, and we're at those festivals again or whatever. I mean, just the amount of love that's going to be going around there. I mean, there's usually quite a lot of love going around anyway, but the amount of it, I think, that will be going around this time now, as people are unleashed back out there, is just going to be absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Look, how has the music industry, in your opinion, dealt with the the issues that it's got? I mean, are you worried that maybe there'll be fewer venues for you to go back to? A lot of people have been feeling the pinch, haven't they, during this crisis?
I think it's been a really, really tough time, and obviously, the music industry and the theatre, musical theatre and performing arts industry rely on kind of cramming as many people into the smallest or biggest places possible. And obviously, when something like coronavirus is around, that is just not possible. It's just not a possible thing to do. So, I know loads of venues across the country that have struggled. And personally, I've done a bit of fundraising for a few venues because I think people don't realize, not only just for performers, but they're kind of huge centers of like community hubs, for many other things aside from performing arts, and access to, cafes and restaurants. And there's so many other jobs that like theatre generates just than the performers, and the crew. So I pray we can get back, and I know people are dying for it and really excited for it. And I hope, I've got everything crossed that, when it comes back, people are just going to welcome it with open arms and just go for it and support their venues and their favorite artists, and we can get back on our feet.
Do you prefer the acting side or the singing side now?
It's completely different. I'm lucky that I still get to do both. So they're both very different, but I love nothing more than kind of stand on stage with my band, singing my songs and hearing people sing that back and sharing that. That's the ultimate, I think, for any performer. It's always a special moment.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to be hearing Baby Had Your Fun again very shortly. But Joe, just, take the opportunity, I suppose, to let people know how they can get their hands on it, and just describe it in your words, really, what this song means to you.
Well, the single's out now on all streaming platforms, and this is kind of, I'm working on a new album at the moment, and this is a kind of taste of what's to come. It's fun, it's country meets disco pop, and it's whack it on, have a dance, and hopefully it'll make you smile.
Fantastic stuff, Joe. Thank you very much. Great to actually have you on the show as well. Hopefully we'll have you on very shortly. And good luck to you, my man. Best of luck to you. I think we can actually hear a bit of Baby Had Your Fun now. Right, there we are. Baby Had Your Fun. Joe McElderry. Oh, he's a nice man, isn't he? Always a very nice man. Right, 03444991000 is that number. Text talking your message to 87222.